Hey, 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 Metaphysical Mama, what's going on, everybody? Thank you for coming to hang out if it's your first time, and absolutely, I appreciate if you're coming back to revisit my crazy little nut self here. Just kidding. Welcome to the channel. It's a channel about metaphysics, so it's a little about everything and a lot about nothing. So please kindly take what resonates and leave the rest. Um, today, today's Thursday presently, and whenever you appear here is the right time. Time is fluid and energy never lies. People do, right? We do, and not always meaning to. 717. So this is just about kind of tapping in and tuning in and being open-minded and looking a little deeper into the things that we've already been accustomed to, right? Believing in, kind of being an autopilot and just like, right, like okie doking and accepting as surface, value. Um, so, the old saying, don't judge a book by its cover. So this is where we go a little more in depth, so you may get triggered on here because I don't really I'm not about being politically correct, and it's not about, right, human emotion and like making you feel good about, so if you want to like feel good channel, this is about that, but it's not going to always be about 144 feeling good. It's going to be about dealing with the shit that we need to take a look at and acknowledge, and the things that can't be avoided. um, but there's always many ways to look at something, so we look at it in a lot of time its most negative form, and then, right, we dive all the way down, and then we grab that nut and that shell or that piece of coal or whatever that is, that rock, and we bring it up, and then we take a look at it and we alchemize it and we allow it to, right, vibrate and be free, right? 220 222. And yeah, I missed that. I didn't miss it, but I had a big meditating day the other day. I got guided to like pretty much just be in a meditative state the whole day. And 222 2022 222 which equals 12, which you could simplify to 3, and also all twos, and also equaled 6 if two, 2. And also, if you did multiple here, it's 2, and then 22 is 4, and then 2022 is 6. That's also 246. That is huge, huge portal, right? Mirror day, not to touch the earth is playing. So just to, yeah, totally acknowledge that. And like, great, I don't think we get another one of those for a long time, one that's all same numbers. That was pretty cool. The moon is lying still. So I'm going to read a little bit about Joseph in the Bible. I had opened today. That's like, like I said, I work with energy, so energy never lies, whether I'm using tarot or just speaking. A lot of time I plan on doing something and then I end up just getting right hopped on a wave and getting pulled in whichever direction spirit wants me to go. So if you're willing to, kind of ride with the waves, you're in the right place, let's see. So I opened to Genesis 37 today. And personally, in my absolute life right here, that's definitely like, this is what's up and what's going on, right? So, and I got Jim Morrison playing in the background, the Doors. So please like, subscribe, and ding the little bell so you can get notified while I, hop on here. Very much appreciate. And and it just contributes your energy. So it's like that we're all part of. That's really, we are the resources. So it's so important, 444, to connect in any way and form that we do, and right, to continue expanding and creating, right? Run with me. Let's run. All right. So let's see. So yeah, I had opened to this today, Joseph's dream. And this has to do with when, right, like Joseph gets thrown into the pit, and then his brothers take him back out of the pit and sell him to the Ishmaelites. Excuse me. So let's say, and I have the metaphysical meaning of Joseph also pulled up. So I'm just going to give you the quick synopsis because that's long. And that is Joseph, Hebrew, whom Jehovah will add to. Jehovah shall increase. He shall increase progressively, i.e., from perfection unto perfection. A son of Jacob. Run, run, run. Elder of the two born to him by Rachel. And she called him Joseph, saying, Jehovah, add to me another son. Genesis 30:24. See also Genesis 37:39, 41, 42, 46 to 50. I don't think you can hear the music in the background, but it's kind of crazy that this is playing at the same time. I am the Lizard King. I can do many things. I don't know about anybody else, but I've had such a rasp in my deep in my chest. It's like a whistle. It's like having a whistle in there. The atmosphere, right? Joseph also represents, right, Heavenly Father, atmosphere. So as far as like science and what have you goes, that's like, right, what goes up must come down. So the atmosphere goes up into, right, the cloud and then comes down like rain and is always, right, somewhere washing. Joseph in the technicolored coat. I think that's what I'm talking on right now. Something like that. Do you remember? What is this? Earth, Wind, and Fire. Oh, how did I forget that? September. All right. So, and let me see. Jacob's blessing of Joseph was Genesis 49:22 through 26. Joseph is a fruitful bough by a fountain. His branches run over the wall. His branches run over the wall. The archers have sorely grieved him, and shot at him, and persecuted him. But his bow abode in strength, and the arms of his hands were made strong by the hands of the mighty one of Jacob. There's also Yaqub or Yaqub's YouTube. From thence is the shepherd, the stone of Israel, even by the God of thy father, who shall help thee, and by the Almighty, who shall bless thee with blessings of heaven above, blessings of the deep that coucheth beneath, blessings of the breast and of the womb. The blessings of thy father have prevailed above the blessings of my progenitors, unto the utmost bound of the everlasting hills. They shall be on the head of Joseph, and on the crown of the head of him that was separate from his brethren. And Moses blessed the tribe of Joseph through his two sons as follows. Deuteronomy 33:13 through 17. This is the metaphysical from truthandunity.net. And then I also have the Bible opened here. I don't know if I should have maybe done that first, but we're doing the metaphysical first. This is Metaphysical Mama channel. And then too, you can, like, if you look this up, you can click on, they have highlighted the other words within the paragraph that you can also break down, you know, get into, right? Israel, God, Father, bless, Jacob, stone, heaven, brethren, Moses, crown, head, Jehovah, right? Things, earth, Right, to have the metaphysical understanding of these things, so you're not just reading the words like in like, oh, this means like, right, some history or some religious thing. Yeah, but it's also a grimoire. It's also, right, it's also an astrolot 1010, an astrological grimoire, and many things. It's many things. So to, right, to try to say that the word of, say, God, right, is understood by man just in a linear fashion and this is what it means is very ignorant, right? 1033, I'm going to say. So it means so many different things, right? So it's important to be, that's where we let go of ego, when we allow all these different definitions to kind of, right, open, bloom, flow. This is what it, right, brings fruitful boughs beyond any wall, right? 10, 5, 5, 5. Okay. I know I babble a lot. So blessed of Jehovah be his land, for the precious things of heaven, for the dew, and for the deep that couches beneath, and for the precious things of the fruits of the sun, sun, and for the precious things of the growth of the moons, plural, and for the chief things of the ancient mountains, and for the precious things of the everlasting hills, and for the precious things of the earth, and the fullness thereof, and the good will of him that dwelt in the bush. Mm. Let the blessing come upon the head of Joseph, and upon the crown of the head of him that was separate from his brethren. The firstling of his herd, majesty is his, and his horns, and the horns of the wild ox. With them he shall push the peoples, all of them, even the ends of the earth. And they are the 10,000s of Ephraim, and they are the thousands of Manasseh. In both Jacob's and Moses's blessings upon Joseph, where the text says, that, is in quotes, was separate from his brethren. The margin gives, that is prince among his brethren. A follower of the Christian doctrine, surnamed Barnabas, if you're familiar with Barnabas at all, by the apostles, and you can also click on that in here too. I highly suggest, or I might after, but I put quite a bit in the title here, so we'll see. But again, what I put in the title and where spirit takes us are always two different things. So don't shoot the messenger. I do my best, and a lot of it, right, is just multi-dimensional. So although I'm reading certain things, there's a lot of other things going on, right? So however you're interpreting, this is why I kindly take what resonates, leave the rest, right? There's multi, right, this is quantum. So we're moving at beyond lightning speed, beyond light speed, right? 1331, there's our mirror. Blah, blah, blah. So Barnabas, by the apostles, he was a companion of Paul's in many missionary journeys. Acts 4:36. C. Husband of Mary, the mother of Jesus. Matthew 1:19, 911 backwards. Joseph of Arimathea, a rich man and disciple of Jesus, who begged Jesus' body from Pilate and buried it in his own tomb. Matthew 27:57 through 60. Joseph called Barsabbas, now there's Barnabas and Barsabbas. Joseph called Barsabbas one of the two who were chosen to take the place of Judas Iscariot, but the lot fell to Matthias and not to Joseph Barsabbas. So a follower of the Christian doctrine, surnamed Barnabas by the apostles, was son of exhortation, son of divinely inspired speech, son of prophecy, son of praise, son of consolation. A name given by the apostles to Joseph, a Jewish man of Cyprus of the tribe of Levi, who was converted to Christianity. He did much to spread the Christ teaching. This is Barnabas. Meta. In Acts, Joseph represents the imagination brought into expression through association with the Word, which is Paul. The Word is Paul, the imagination is Joseph. The apostles renamed him Barnabas, which they interpret in the text to mean son of exhortation. As the imagination is the molder of the flexible substance of the mind, so in the beginning of the Bible, history of Barnabas are the symbols that relate him to substance in its various forms, like I was just saying. He was a Levite, right? Because even though I'm saying certain things, there's so many other things going on in my mind, and then your mind is you're hearing what I'm saying and thinking whatever you're thinking and interpreting how it, right? So it's like so many things going on, right? In the imagination, we can't possibly put them all into Paul and spit them out into the word in linear form, right? It's like, right, it's just not, right? So that's kind of right, quantum and metaphysics, and right, it's so hard to explain all these things unless you experience it. Then, right, then we can, right, swim together. Then we like, right, make beautiful music together. Then we're like gardening and blooming and just and create. It's co-creating with spirit. We're like, and then that's what's up when we can get in that sweet spot, right? And soar. Which SOAR, soar, right? Soaring through while we're standing still is way different than trying to figure it all out and be sore, right? Having bitter waters of wormwood, being bitter, that's different. 1707, 733, right? Then, yeah, allowing the definite and allowing ourselves to soar, right? All right. All right. The apostles renamed him Barnabas, which they interpret in the text to mean son of exhortation. All right. He was a Levite. The Levites had charge. The Levites had charge of the offerings. He had a field. He sold it and brought the money and laid it at the apostles' feet. The field, the money, the feet, all refer to the substance side of being. Material. 18 on the nose. So it's like, right, Joseph is like the king, he's of the money. Pharaoh, the field of money. I was discussing this earlier, which is made of ferro fluid, FERRO fluid, which is an iron magnetic fluid. So it's all traced right at the feet, and the feet. And the feet, ground level. Oh Lord. Oh, and that too, right? And that's the Lord, the law, la dog, the Lord. That's all right. There's spirit, there's physical, and then there's material, right? Yeah. All right. Wow. All refer to the substance side of being. Barnabas was a native of Cyprus, a large island in the northeastern portion of the Mediterranean. Cyprus means fairness, and in the individual consciousness, it is in close touch with intellectual reasoning, the Greeks, and formulated theology, Antioch. The faculty of imagination is located in the front of the brain. It must become allied to wisdom, to fair, honest logic and reasoning in order to become the son of exhortation, right? Because our ideas might seem great. We have fantasies and our imagination can run wild, right? But what, like, oh, that sounds like a great idea might not be such a great idea. Or what seems so scary might actually not be what we originally thought, right? That first thought could be very scary and negative. So that's, right, Cain. So we want to allow Eve and Adam and that first, right, Cain that we spit out, that negative thought, to come back and then play with them so that, right, with Holy Spirit, so that we allow that tree to grow from within instead of allowing our, right, children to run rampant and wild, etc. Eve's represent feelings, Adam's represent thoughts, Cain represents the negative feeling and thought that first pops out of the temple of our body, of our physical body, and then the temple of our head, right, this side. So we got to remember to bring it back over here. So we, right, play it, bring it back to the Divine Mother, not just, right, let Eve and Adam and Cain run around and then all this confusion. Right, bring it back home. Bring them back home. Come on home, kitties. Come on home to mama, kitties. All right. So Cyprus means fairness and individual, and in the individual consciousness, Antioch. The faculty of imagination is located in the front of the brain. It must become allied to wisdom, fair, honest logic, and reasoning in order to become the son of exhortation. Barnabas was a good man and full of the Holy Spirit and of faith. We find him always broad-minded, big of heart, and generous of soul. He was the right companion for Paul, who represents the word of the Spirit of truth. Barnabas believed in Paul and persuaded the apostles at Jerusalem that his change of heart was sincere. Spiritual imagination and fairness of mind cause us to realize and acknowledge the changes that take place in our thoughts as we turn from the fighting, right? Jacob wrestling with God when we're fighting with our divine self. So good. I'm all crouching down to read this. Stand up straight. Spiritual imagination and fairness of the mind causes us to realize and acknowledge changes to take place in our thoughts as we turn from the fighting, resisting attitude to one of receptivity to truth. Because again, once we recognize where truth is acknowledged, which is right here, it's like, so it's like anything else is like, wait a minute, wait, it still ain't quite, doesn't mean it's bad, it's wrong, you're wrong, I'm right, you're right, I'm wrong, I gotta feel less than, it don't mean all that. It's like, yes, that's gonna happen, but then again, bring it back, hold on to your cup there. Like your body's your cup. Hold on and balance it back out. It doesn't got it right. It's like, and if some's in there you don't like, great. It's like, well, maybe I don't want that. It's like, it's okay. That's okay too. You're allowed to change your mind. Did anybody tell you that? I hope so. It's okay. It's okay to not know. Right? Okay. The church at Jerusalem heard that the Greeks were turning to Christianity, and it sent Barnabas to Antioch to investigate. Barnabas, when he saw the grace of God, was glad, and he exhorted them all. Oh, that's so cool. That with purpose of heart they would cleave unto the Lord. Spiritual imagination and foresight are always glad to see and to acknowledge the light reaching out to every avenue of man's being. They ever encourage their individual to adhere to the Lord, to hold fast to the good. In a long, lonely, 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 lonely time. Hell yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's why it's like, right, God's full of forgiveness. Like whenever you find that, like, it's like, whenever it's like we forget. Once we get, it's like, of course you're always welcome back. That's it's like, duh. You were never left. We just like, we forget or we get upset or right, it's what we're holding on to. Lonely, lonely time. Okay, so back to Joseph. That was Barnabas, because I wanted to just clearly. Now, Barnabas is son of Saba, son of Sabbath, son of return, son of restitution, son of restoration. A name of Joseph, Joseph has many names, right? A name, and don't forget, Jesus had a twin, Thomas. A name of Joseph's, whose surname was Justus, but Justus, not Justice. Joseph is just. Now that's interesting. I'm going to click on that too in a sec. Hold on. So a name of Joseph's, whose surname was Justus, Acts 1:23. Also the surname of Judas. Acts 15:22. Joseph called. I just saw something out of the corner of my eye. That was crazy. I was like, my peripheral vision was witnessing something in the right side over there. This is a spiritual channel. I'm like, I don't know if you're used to that stuff or not. They sneak up on me all the time. Anyhow. Joseph. All right, wait. Judas. Joseph, called Barnabas, was nominated with Matthias as an apostle. They're making me laugh. Yeah, as an apostle to take the place of Judas Iscariot. Wait, what? Joseph, called Barnabas, was nominated with Matthias as an apostle to take the place of Judas Iscariot. But the lot fell to Matthias, and so he was elected. Kind of like making me think of Biden and Trump. Judas Barnabas was chosen with Silas to accompany Paul and Barnabas to Antioch. Meta. The return of the faculties of imagination. Joseph is imagination. And praise is Judas, right? Praising Judas, which that's why too, like, right, Christianity, Judaism, and Muslim all worship, say, Yahweh 27:27, which Judas, praise Judas, is the same. To their true source, God. All right, so the return of faculties of imagination and praise to their true source, God, son of return. That's when, right, you allow, again, the pieces of ourselves that have been like spit out. That's like our little devils running around. We want to allow those little pieces to come back. That's our, then we, right, that's our son, our Christ child. It's like the return of our son, of Saturn, the little devil that's been running around. 7:44. Oh, this is The Idea of You is playing by Dave Matthews right now. Speaking of like imagination. Can't take it. I love it. So good. So good. All right. So son of return. Yes, return. So that's the Christ child that we want to allow to rise within Christ consciousness. And then the Christ child, right, that's missing in the, like at Christmas in the nativity, right, the baby's always missing, Jesus, right? So once the devil comes home, you want to, right, like your little baby devil that's running around, all our negative thoughts and feelings that are out there scattered around. Once we start to, right, inner alchemy and raise that Christ consciousness, right, raise our vibration by turning those scary thoughts and feelings in, allowing them to grow into more, right, having a little more fun with it, being a little more open-minded, using our imagination, right, being more childlike. And then the Christ child takes its rightful seat at the throne of Osiris, which is at the pineal gland in the forefront of the mind, which we were also just discussing. Joseph is the imagination in the front of the brain. So if that's being blocked, right, Harad, right, of course, there's going to, right, anything that's positive is going to have the opposite also, right, the polarity. or someone else reflecting from an outside observe might right, the grass looks greener on the other side, so there's green with envy, jealousy. But it's just because everybody wants to be loved and accepted and feel good. So when we put it into perspective like that, it's like, you guys, everybody's loved and we all feel like that, right? We all have those feelings. We all feel like, what if they like somebody else like somebody better, or how come they do that, you know? And then we got lots of all the cheaters and liars and those that are doing black magic. Take a look where that's coming from. Again, it's just, again, their children haven't come home yet. So once we start to, right, take a look at that, then it's like, all right, well, I can't now. It's like, all right, you know, it doesn't make it okay, but at the same time, it's like, right, if they ain't there yet, they're not there yet. It's like when people are drinking, if they're not ready to stop drinking, they didn't hit rock bottom yet. There ain't nothing you're going to be able to do to get somebody to get out of their addictive state of mind, whatever that is they're doing, until they hit some kind of rock bottom. Because that's the only thing that wakes the consciousness up. And then that's still like a stumbling ground. We're still stumbling. Oh, right, Jack and Jill went up the hill to get a pail of water, and then it turned into wine, and then everybody, right, got drunk and fell down and been tumbling ever since throughout time, space and time, right? So now, as we're waking, it's like standing, it's like, wait a second. Everybody's trying to get a shot to make it all go away. Sorry. I can't. Oh gosh, no offense. It's just there's, you know, and some do need that because this is just like a big transition. This is a galactic, right, DNA upgrade change. So there's many different species here, but we're not all one size fits all. I mean, we don't all wear the same size shoe, right? We don't all eat the same exact thing every day and want the right same thing at every moment every day and like the same thing, and no two perceive anything the same. So that's again a very immature, ignorant thought to have. Just saying. And dangerous, scientifically speaking, right? When we're treating everybody this, it's like, no, hold on a second. Not even every cup of coffee I drink is right, tastes the same, and it's different every time that it gets poured in there, right? So anyhow, that's just a quick thought to like how, because we're so busy in our, again, human daily self, that we forget, you know, to slow down and allow, right, philosophy and the thought process and imagination, which is what is so truly important. That's what helps us to create, and that is what creates life, right? The consciousness, the imagination, having choice, right? Again, like I said before, right? You're allowed to change your mind. I want to eat this. Oh, maybe I don't want to eat that. I want to eat something else different. Or I want to wear this. No, I don't want to wear that. I thought I liked them. No, I don't really like them. Love them, just not quite the right match, right? Like, yeah, right? So we can love somebody, but not like them, right? 3333. Here on out. Dave Matthews. Again, it's just a mix that's on. It's been great music today. All right. So, the true thoughts in consciousness. Wait a minute. A harvest of spiritual ideas that are given forth to the brethren. The true thoughts in consciousness. Those that are awakening to the right understanding of Christ and of God for their exhortation and confirmation in truth. Woo woo! And Judas and Silas, being themselves also prophets, exhorted the brethren with many words and confirmed them. Yo, congratulations, whoever you are watching, soul family. because if you're here, then yeah, you've done a lot of you know, again, it's like we keep falling, but we keep picking ourselves back up. And the best way to learn is not through success, right? It's through failure, right? One of my tea bags I always get says that, and I'm like, oh, so true. So true. It's like, right? But for me, I'm a person that fears success quite often. So I'm kind of okay with failure. It's the other end of the spectrum that scares the shit out of me sometimes. So, you know, yeah. We'll speak you. Anyhow, yeah. Yeah, hard's easy for me. Not hard, but like, right, or just be like, yeah, right. We'll put it this way, isn't it like you, hard to like go out on stage and do something, right? Some people are like born to just be on stage, and right, some it's like I love, I don't mind hopping out there once in a while, but I'm more of like, right, a backstage or in the crowd kind of girl. Not even backstage. I don't like being backstage either, because like I like to be part of the crowd. I like to be jumping around and having fun with people, and like, so I like to be on stage if I'm gonna be jumping around having fun. But if I like have to be up there, I probably don't want to be up there. You know what I mean? But that's just me. So it's not that I don't like want to do things because, right, I'm not wanting to work or be disciplined and what have you. But if I have to do it, it takes the fun and the passion out of it for me. And then, or I feel it makes me feel awkward. Then I feel like I'm put on the spot. So now I'm like, well, now I'm not natural. So now I can't do it. Now I'm, nope, now it's not there. Like, you took it all away from me because you asked me to do it instead of just letting me do it, just letting me get up there and do it. If that makes any sense to you. It's like if a butterfly is flying and then somebody admires a butterfly, asks it how it flies. Does a butterfly even realize it's flying? Right? It's just flying. But if you have to ask a butterfly how it's flying and it has to sit and ponder and think about how it's flying, its wings might get heavy and it might not be able to fly anymore, right? Sometimes thinking and dwelling too much on how we do something or why is like, and then, right? It's like, dum it's like, brings confusion, or it gives oneself an ego. That's what it does. It makes someone, it's a reflection, right? So it makes us reflect. So yeah, that's where the ego develops then. Love hides. The Doors is playing. Love is the answer. And now Lola. La 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 Lola. Okay. So the state of consciousness. Sorry, bear with me, babies. Power two. Okay. Joseph is especially representative. The state of consciousness in which we increase in character along all lines, we not only grow into a broader understanding, but there is an increase of vitality and substance. right? Our light being, the rainbow body, inertia occurs, right? Vroom. Joseph is especially representative of the realm of forms. He was clothed with a coat of many colors. He was a dreamer and an interpreter of dreams. The phenomenal was his field of action. Among the primal faculties of the mind, Joseph represents imagination. This faculty has the power to throw onto the screen of visibility in substance and life forms every idea that the mind may conceive. That's why I love talking to that MFer so much. While the imagination is a very necessary faculty and is powerful and productive, yet it is belittled and often derided and scorned by the other faculties of the mind, right? Even in school, 40/40, right? What do they take away? Right? It's like the music, or it's expensive, or the art, right? Creative process, anything that's, right? Free thinking, creative free thinking. No. We even get flagged on here if we don't talk about the proper, if we don't hold up the right, which, well, I'm not holding any other narrative up. It's like, how we all are, like, you're, who are you trying to gag people and put gag orders on people and say that we're not allowed to have freedom of speech? Anybody's allowed to have the proper information that's due to them so that they have the ability to also grow, prosper. Anyone that's trying to block that, right? That's a brother of the brethren of Joseph, throwing Joseph in the well, trying to block our imagination, trying to not allow our imagination and our creative aspects with spirit that coexist naturally, that are what made create part of creation. Nothing would be here if it wasn't for that. So for beings to try to block that and say that things are good, bad, and different, or what they mean, is, I don't know, quite comical to me, honestly. I never understood that since I've been walking and upon this place, period, ever. I never, it's like I've kind of always been walking around scratching my head like, what the hell is going on around here? And J Magic just come out, no use in hiding. Embrace your quirkiness, especially if you got a lot of Uranian, Neptunian outer planets in your chart. I definitely do. uh, what were you expecting? Okay, let's see. Joseph in Egypt symbolizes the word of the imagination and subconsciousness, or the involution of a high spiritual idea. Joseph in Egypt could be said to represent also our highest perception of truth, dealing with the realm of forms and bringing it into a more orderly state. That's what I was talking about too. I was referring to that. I don't know if it was in this video or the one I did previous to this, where like Mercury and stuff. It's like Mercury is poison and what have you, and confusion in our heads, but it's also the messenger. So I'm more from the outer. So like being from the outer and then coming here now and then trying to interpret. It's like Mercuries are my friends, because it's like it's a I'll say love-hate relationship, complete love, just love distortion. Distortion's a better word. Love distortion. However, yeah, how I communicate is completely different because I'm all, out there. I'm my information's coming from, right, and from way deep within. So the intellect and the logic of the mind, in order to then, right, a lot of the time, say speak human, can, yeah, be difficult for me or get me in trouble. And not because I, because it's like, because I, not being able to say certain things, not because it's not accepted, just because naturally, right, it's like my energy doesn't want to hurt your feelings, and I want to get it right, the right vibration. So sometimes I'm like, no, yes, it's like then we're like playing a game instead of, and some people can get very frustrated with that. So when I have a Mercury around me and they're able to like take what I'm saying and be like, is this like, right, here's the medium cup of coffee, I'm like, oh. Yes, that. Pluto helps very much with that too, right? I have a lot of Venus, like Taurus in my chart. So Pluto to me is very, right, able to able to pull out and see those things within me, and again, yeah, help me through a lot of those things I wasn't able to see or able to verbalize or define within myself, or was sometimes afraid of seeing or didn't know how to see them. Okay, so that's how Pluto helps in your chart, etc. And how it depends, but right, because Pluto can be, right, it's like the, right, transformer die, people say. But to me, I love Pluto. It's like, it is like that, and it's like the most, yeah. However, that's where right, have gotten to go through my deepest, darkest parts of self in order to, right, find more deeper, darker parts that are, right, that we're still all traveling through, right? um, so yeah, it's like, yeah, it's crazy, right? Crazy train. Crazy. Anyhow, and so cool. What a trip. All right, let's see what else. Oh, did I get there? Joseph, high ideal, the truth, comes down into the Egyptian darkness of sense consciousness, and under the law will finally raise it into spiritual light. Oh, maybe I cry. In the process, Joseph seems to die, but his bones remain. The substance of truth is an abiding presence, though its form may be lost to sight. How often we hear people say, oh, made me like cry. How often we hear people say that they do not now seem to realize such uplift as came to them when they first began to understand truth. Ooh, that shit's like deeply emotional right now. Then they were so enthusiastic that they could think and talk of nothing else. They say that they even demonstrated for themselves and for others more easily than they demonstrate now. They think that they have somehow lost their grasp of truth because carnality seems so real to them. They are right in the place that was occupied by the Israelites after Joseph died. Truth as a thing apart, a personality named Joseph, has disappeared, but it lives in his progeny, in the land of Egypt. And these descendants are oppressed by Egyptians. We might say that the ideas that make up the statements of truth that you have received have percolated through your mind, but the sense consciousness is ruling in you, and these children of Israel are oppressed, right? That's what we're all dealing with still, right now. Instead of siding with spirit in every thought, you side with the carnal, and you build up a ruling state of thought that remembers not the inspiring truth. Now there arose a new king over Egypt who knew not Joseph. You know, that's kind of, it's making me think right now too, like, because we had the V word and then the vaccine and then all that other stuff going on. And now the narrative is pushed right to the WAR, which is right. If you again look up the etymology of U or UK and Ukraine, Russia, ruthenium, that got me so like, you know, you have a deeper understanding of where we're at right now as far as all that goes too. Because that all ties into this, right? The narratives and what have you. And so when people are in the carnal mind, the carnal state of mind, which is that the Jacob and Esau, let me get tissue. Gosh, myself. Sorry. Track 18, City on Down, or super good song. Let's see. Okay. So yeah, current events. Everything is relative, right? So and death and rebirth mean many different things. You know, again, some people have been here for a long time and you know, they physically may want to take a rest, 808, from physically being here. So, right, it's not our business to force anybody to stay or go. You know, that's why this process is individual to the person, and the soul and the spirit of each individual better and need to be respected, period. That's why God gave free will. That's why free will is given, not for somebody to take from someone else, right? So anyhow, but truth cannot be destroyed, nor can true words and true thoughts ever be effaced from the mind that has willingly received them. The children of Israel multiplied in the land of Egypt in spite of oppression. Their power became a great source of concern to the Egyptians, who made their lives bitter with hard service. You hear that? Their power became a great source of concern to the Egyptians, who made their lives bitter with hard service in mortar and in brick, material ways. Right? And that's what's going on right now, too, right? They threw that whole narrative on us. Everybody, like, right, stop working. Some people are like, you know, oh, people should go back to work. Well, how about everybody loves to work, but to have a job and get paid and have a price on your head is again way different. If we have to do something or we're forced to or be, and then things are right being and truth isn't being right, it now everybody's just getting like pushed around and like told one thing, and this is what's been going on for so long. So that doesn't make me value what you stand for and make me want to work with you, for you, etc. Right? It's like especially if, right, we're still talking about somebody better make some sense. In man's world. All right. Material, physical. Where did those two come from? The several visits of Joseph's brothers to Egypt for corn, the bringing of Jacob and all the brothers of Joseph with their families and flocks down into Egypt, and the final reconciliation are a symbolical representation of the manner in which we make a connection with the obscured vitality within the organism and so and bring all of our faculties into conjunction with it. Right? Mind, emotional body, spirit, soul, physical, right? Material. What do I need? Do I, right? Do we have too much? Do I have to go? Do I need, a lot of people even just wanting employees to be in work. Well, a lot of employees are able to do their work and probably more productive from home. Does it mean every day? No, but like maybe some days, like, or like, right, it's like, oh, I'll come in today if you need me, but then otherwise, like, right, I'm gonna be home, or I'll come in for a little bit. Like, instead of being under the thumb and under the order of someone else, if people can work more productive, right, and everybody's different. Some people can't, like, some of it, right, some, it's like, I need it, right, I need it to be there. That isn't that still an option? All options open, right? There should be school at nighttime for children too. There should be school that actually has productive learning that is not a repeat record playing in the corner that everybody's trying to force everybody to still listen to and go by these false statistical numbers that make no sense. So yeah. Anyway, I don't want to get too sidetracked, but right, yeah. So it's very important that this shit is acknowledged. Like, enough in the gambling ring, enough Russian roulette trying to spin the table one more time and, right, make one more bet and change one more thing and alter one more, like, oh no. I'll have to call them back. I never get a call on here. It's so funny. All right, let me finish reading this because then I do have to do that. That's my best friend calling. My bro. One of mine. All right, anyhow. All right. Blah. Say several visits of Joseph's brother into Egypt for corn, the bringing of Jacob and all the brothers of Joseph with their families and flocks down into Egypt, and the final reconciliation or symbolical representation, I already read all this, in which we make connection with the obscured vitality within the organism and bring all faculties into conjunction with it. This symbolism depicts also the unification of the I am, Jacob, with all the faculties of the mind and with the life energies and with the substance of the whole man. They dwelt in the land of Goshen, unity. See Genesis 46 and 47. So, right, how do we get to one? How do we make ourselves whole? We're almost at 1 hour. How perfect. So I'm not going to get into Dotham and all that other stuff tonight, I don't think. And Beersheba and Jacob and Esau. I'm going to probably have to come back on and do another separate video because this took so long just doing Joseph. Russia invades Ukraine. And isn't it, I think it's a lot of, like, again, push talk from over here where we are. So again, when it's like that old, what's it, blood in, blood out, or Loki, when somebody makes up a story and say, they said that, and they said that, he, and then tries to that kind of thing. Don't fall for the right. Just send. It's like, listen, like, yeah. Don't go fight in somebody else's war. To pay attention to inside, like, does it fit? Like, does that seem true? Right? Truth resonates right within here. Doesn't matter what nationality, what job you have, what uniform you're wearing. If truth resonate right here, and it's like if somebody, if a man is telling you, like, oh, do this and do, it's like, wait, but it's like, wait. That don't. It's like something ain't right there. Just ask for guidance. Ain't nothing wrong with pause, take a little time and space to take a few breaths and ask for some guidance and just ask. It's like, whoa. Because you don't want to do something that then you're going to regret. Somebody else had you do something and now you just got more karma because, right, you acted on impulse and right in a reactive state. This is slow down. It's okay to pause. You don't got to be that dude, the story of the Titanic. And that story gets even deeper too, because all the people that were any kind of competition to any of the one percenters that still rule now, right? Supposedly had all the other people be on that ship that, right? But all of them weren't on it. Oh, I feel that. They didn't like me talking about that. You shouldn't have done that. Like what? That's like I get. Like what did she? It's like a what Nancy Kerrigan and Tanya Harding. That like back in the day. Right? It's like said. It's like that. You make it so like that's not even fair. That's not fun when you cheat the competition, right? Like the voting. Like it's like with that. I never like whatever anyhow. But like if people still believe that that's even like it's like the no. It's just when things have to be rigged to be won. Then how do you even enjoy that? Truly, like you can't even. That's like that. How does that? Like oh, like that. That takes all the actual. And then those are the people that tell us all that we should have a job and work and like whatever and etc. But what? You cheated your way to where you are. And when I have a conversation with you, it's not enjoyable. You just repeat things that other people have said or like 818. Know what I mean? I don't know. Dave Matthews, I let you down. It's just more immature souls. It's like, listen, I even understand that. It's like when we don't feel good about ourselves, or if we feel like great, like people that had to impress their daddy or had to impress somebody. I don't, I know that feeling. But if that's what you're living by, you're always going to let yourself down. How are you ever going to feel good about yourself if you're always trying to impress somebody else and you're not ever being true to yourself? Then you're never going to know who you are. Then you're always lost. Lost tribes of Israel. Hello. Right? Focus. I mean, we're all lost here. I'm just saying, but we don't want to stay lost. It's like lost and found, motherfucker. I'd like to. I like. I don't mind some, some some mix up on a case. They're fun, haha, right? But then it's like, okay, where's my shoes? Where's my keys? Where? Eventually, that becomes not fun and not funny anymore. Yeah. All right. So let's see. We're almost done here, I promise, and then we out. And thank you for hanging out, guys. This was all over the place. Got some tears in this one and everything. All right. The I am Jacob with all the faculties of the mind and the life energies and the substance. Yeah, Genesis. Joseph as the imaging, increasing power of the mind refers to the imagination. For the significance of Joseph, Barnabas, see Barnabas, which we already did. And then it says Joseph and Mary, the parents of Jesus. Now, that doesn't mean Joseph and Mary physically gave birth to Jesus like Adam, like Eve gave birth. Right? Mary and Joseph, that's like Gaia and Uranus. It's birthing of consciousness. It's a birthing or caring for. It's not. So there's a lot of misperceptions in that. The parents of Jesus represent wisdom and love, which have been ideas in mind, but are now to bring forth a manifestation in substance. Yeah, that's what's up. Ooh. Luke 2, 4 and 5. Joseph might also be said to represent the Son of Man, and Mary, the divine motherhood. Yep. Joseph, so that's kind of confusing, right? But not like it makes complete sense to me. But because it's like, but Joseph's the father of Jesus, and that's the Son of Man. Now the Son, but wait, said to represent the Son of Man. Mankind, the father of mankind, is the father of Joseph, son of man. This is so fucking like, because like father is son and then son is father. They flip flop, and then mothers, right? So that's why it's like, but just through consciousness, that's why, right? Everything was a thought form first, and a feeling, right? Like right, and then right. Or something was not even known because when we have a thought and equal or opposite is birth on the other side. So if something was found on the other side and birth, then it's like, right, this was you. It's like, what? Right? But it's like, but something in us knew something was always there, but we didn't know what it was. Oh, this is, who's this? What's it? Blues Traveler. Okay, so Joseph was merely betrothed to Mary. Vet she was, great with child. So Joseph was minded to put her away privily. And truly, like, I'm going to say, like, I always talk about Uncle Papa Joe. And that's who's always been, like, for the last few years, I've had to help take care of him, right? To bring him into, like, because that's also, like, osmotic. It could also be, right? Like, kid. But he's been a long, long time. So he's also greatest, like, right? So I always call him like best friend, Uncle Papa Joe. But right now, he's been in the hospital for a while, for a few weeks with COVID. He's in a nursing home. His stuff has been removed from his room. So this is very biblical, everything that's going on right now. But again, it's like, right, leave it, it's all part, it's like, so it's like, but I don't have, it's like, I'm not, yeah, it's like even talking about it, it's like, yeah, they're like kind of giggling, like, it's all been pre-scripted. Yeah, I don't know what they're doing. Oh, brother. All right. These guys. Oh. All right. So Joseph was merely betrothed to Mary, that she was great with child. So Joseph was minded to put her away privily. This means that we do not, in the first stages of the birth of Christ in us, understand the process, and sometimes are moved to put it away from us, right? Because it's like, this is too much, or like, oh, or it could get us freaked out, or it brings, right? It's like, yeah, that happens too. That might happen with some of you too, like twin flames, etc. It's like too much. Some twin flames may have, right, dipped out of the right, contracts, that's okay. Twin flames are here to like catapult us into the next stage of our being. It's not like you're gonna just, right, like it's so much more than that. Your souls are, it's like, right, our souls are eternal. So this is about soul growth. Our human nature is like, oh, but how come? And our feelings, 826, and our right thoughts, our feelings can get hurt, and then our thoughts can produce, right, manifestations of, right, like victim mentality. So that's human Eve, etc. As we come into, that's why it's like nothing is what it seems. If you've gone through twin flame relationship on some level, you already know. It's like, right, it's not what it seems. It's like what, it's the deepest love, and then it's like it's crazy, it throws you all over, right? There is a lot of right, like divine and primal, right, sex that comes with that. Sometimes not. Sometimes your twin flame is like your, it could be your your child. So there's not, that's like a, right, so there's a lot of different combinations, right, of how your twin 1101, it just was 11101 was I saying it? That can show up depending on, right, your soul's contract in 11111, and where you're at now. You know, because again, if you close your eyes and think of energy and spirit, right, God slash spirit, etc., is wants to have experience, so is gonna, right, come as so many different things, but there's, right, the twin part is the other part of the nature of, or the same soul, right? So, and then we have twin ray and twin star, and like, right, there's twins, and then there's, right, duality and polarity and etc. So there's many different, you know, and we're a binary star system, and many other planet. There's many moons, right? Earth, we only see one side of the moon. Why is that? It's like there's something blocking everything else that's behind there, no? What the? Don't you find that a little odd? I don't know. And now they came out that movie Moonfall. I had done, I think I have like one podcast on Anchor, and I channeled something about the moon, and it was like some, I think what I channeled was like the moon supernova or something. So I had this whole remote view or whatever you want to call it, right, of the moon, and this and my boyfriend was like, he's like, what, like, yeah, right, or whatever. I was like, I don't know what that like, I don't know. I And then now they have a movie coming out, Moonfall. I'm like, something that meant something. I don't know. I don't know what. I don't know what. A lot of time I have no clue what the F I'm saying. It's like, and then people are like yelling at me. I'm like, I don't even know what I just said. Oh, shoot the messenger. I can't help what's coming out of the friggin' atmosphere, what's been traveling around through the clouds, through space and time, through our collective conscience, through the world. And the world is not the same as the earth, right? Not the same as Gaia, which are all living entities that have consciousness, right? And you have your own earthly body, right? You live in your own earthly body. This is your land, yours, not this. This is mine. This one I'm standing in here and vibrating in, that you're seeing me like that, vibrating in. 11414. Right. Your physical body is your land, your earth, right? Which contains your body of water, but everything's water. We're not solid mass. only a third of our energy is in our human vessel. That's why Gilgamesh is 2/3 God, 1/3 man. 11441, right? A third, like a battery. Only a third of our energy at a time is able to be possibly come into the physical vessel that we're standing in. The rest of it is the thoughts and the feelings, the spirit, and the other bodies of what that make up our body, right? And then Christ consciousness is 144,000 consciousnesses. The way there could be quite messy, scary, and and some people don't make it, right? It's because it's that intense. Or what? Yes, no, I'm live. Yeah, I'm just about done though. Just about. I see. All right. The soul is heavily charged with divine life. All right. Joseph was merely betrothed to Mary, that she was great with child. So Joseph was minded to put her away privily. This means that we do not, in the first stages of the birth of Christ in us, understand the process, and sometimes are moved to put it away from us. The soul is heavily charged with divine life, and so full that it cannot express itself intelligently. That's what I was just saying before, right? Because no union has yet taken place between it and the understanding. Joseph. Totally. There you go. That's what I was just saying. Joseph of Arimathea signifies the imaging faculty functioning on a very high plane of consciousness. Arimathea means a height, right? Like I was saying before, like atmosphere, right? That's why heaven, earth, but what goes up must come down, right? It's like the atmosphere. So that's like, right, the rain, the droplets of water that make up the air that we breathe, that turn into clouds and rain. And that's why, right, the elders would pray to certain gods, and then the clouds would move, and they still do, right? And that's where we either get good harvest from rain or drought. For the significance of Joseph Barnabas, and we saw that too. We already read that. So, on that note, that was pretty awesome, cool reading, and I hope you enjoyed too. And please like, subscribe, and hit the bell, and come back and visit again. And Dwelt in the Land of Goshen. Yeah, I read that. And then maybe tomorrow I'll do the others with Dotham and like Gotham. So I think Batman. And yeah, Beersheba and Jacob and Esau. So till then, take care.